Hi, this is Tom Moe of the University of Iowa. I'm going to show you an interesting case that we had recently where we had a tear of the anterior capsule. You can see that the anterior capsulotomy was perfect before we started nuclear fractus. Here we're using the soft side of the Cybele chopper. It's like the finger side that's got a little bulb on the end of it. And in this case, our chief resident is going out nicely. And in this case, we get just a little bit anterior to the capsule, and you can see right there we're stressing the zonules, and just there the anterior capsule turns. Let's look again in slow motion with more mag. You can see we're anterior to the capsule there, and then the chopper catches it right there and tears the anterior capsule. So now we have a radial tear. We have to be very careful with any posterior pressure on the capsule because we don't want this tear to extend posteriorly. We're going to do a very, very soft divide and conquer. We're just going to take these halves up. Pretty easy to get the halves up now because we have the radial tear. It makes it very easy for these pieces to come up. And the nuclear fractus was really uneventful. The last bit of IA that you do with the radial tear is the area around the radial tear. You've got to be real careful that you don't grab leaflets of the anterior capsule thinking that they're cortical material. But you can see that went quite nicely. When placing the lens, you want to be very careful that you don't put posterior pressure on the capsule and don't drive it into the area of the radial tear. Rotate this lens really gently. Radial tears almost always occur right across from the wound, and that makes sense because that's where the chopper is. So we're just going to make sure that this single piece acrylic lens is in a nice position, rotated about 90 degrees away from the radial tear. We don't want to go underneath this lens. It'll put too much pressure on the capsular bag. We just want to stay on top. We're going to do a little bit of irrigation through the paracentesis to see if there's any residual lens material floating about. The lens was really nicely centered at the end of the case. This is Tom Moe of the University of Iowa. Thank you very much.